Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Preserving History and Democracy. My name is Cynthia Mendoza, Communications Coordinator for the Doñana County Clerk's Office, and we are joined today by our amazing producer, Bernadine Caparel. How are you,
Good
Bern?
morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing great. We have some incredible guests once again.
We do. We have Mr. Dennis Daly, who is with us from, can you tell me your title?
Sure. So
It's such a mouthful.
I am department head of Archives and Special Collections at the New Mexico State University Library.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. And we also have with us Jennifer Olguin. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
Oh, great. And can you tell me your title? Because that's a mouthful, too.
Yeah, I think it's a longer title than Dennis's, but I'm the Rio Grande Historical Collections Archivist, Associate Professor at the library.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Than't you both so much for coming. I really
It's
appreciate
been a
it.
pleasure. Thank you
Yes,
for
yes.
inviting
For the
us.
invite.
Cool. You guys are no stranger to the podcast. You've been on here
I
a
think
few
we've
times.
both been on before, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we love it. But today you guys are going to talk to us about a very special event that's happening this month. Can you go ahead and kind of talk about the Archives Bazaar?
Sure. So there's an organization called the Border Regional Archives Group, and we are people who work with archival materials, like you all. You all are participants in this. People who work with archival materials, whether it be in a library or an archive or a government office or a church or a historical society, et cetera, a museum. There are archives all over. And there are people who work with these archival materials. And so we put this group together, the Border Regional Archives Group, and it's people in those kinds of organizations in the border region. So it's primarily El Paso, and well, it started out primarily as El Paso and Las Cruces. It was NMSU and UTEP that kind of got the thing going. But it's really branched out from there. And now we say West Texas, all of southern New Mexico. So we have people from Silver City, from Portales. We have people from Alpine, Texas. And this year we're being joined by some folks from Texas Tech University up in Lubbock. So, and the purpose of the group is to promote archives in the community so people understand what archives are and the importance of preserving archival records. And also, it's a way for us within the group to sort of interact and get to know each other.
That's the fun part.
That is the fun
Yeah.
part. It is very fun. And importantly, to know what the other collections in the region are, because we don't have everything in our archive. You all don't have everything in your archive. No archive has everything. Okay. But if we know what everybody else kind of has, then we're more able to help researchers. And that ultimately is what we're in the business for, is to help researchers find information that they're looking for. So that's the Border Regional Archives Group. And then when we got this thing going again in about 2016, one of the things we decided we wanted to try to do is put on an Archives Bazaar. That is a event for the public where we would all bring materials from our collections out, display them, talk about them, and have people come through. These archive bazaars are kind of started in the early 2000s, and Austin, Texas has a big archives bazaar. Southern California, Los Angeles area has a big archives bazaar. Now they're kind of all over the country. So that was kind of our model, was to promote archives and inform people about what archives are and what archivists do in our relationship to preserving history.
So can you tell us some more details on the event? When is it? Where is it? All of that good stuff.
Yeah, so this event, Jennifer mentioned, is the 9th Annual Archives Bazaar. So we've been doing this, I guess that means since 2017.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been a nice long run. We've been holding the event usually at the New Mexico Farm and Ranch Heritage Museum, and that's where it will be this year on Saturday, October 18th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. So the Farm and Ranch Heritage Museum is our location. And in the past, it's always been a free event. Anyone who came in got in free. Mm-hmm. But with some changes to museum policies this year, they need to charge a small entrance fee of $3 per visitor.
So reasonable.
Yeah, it is very reasonable. And that also gets you into all of the exhibits within the museum, which
cool.
I'm
Oh,
sure
that's
you all
great.
have been there, but
Yeah.
it's a fantastic,
Right.
world-class museum.
So what can we expect this year? I know there's a theme every year. What's the theme this year?
The theme this year is Voices Through Time, or Voces a través del tiempo. And so what we're thinking is, these archival records that we all have speak to us. They really speak to us. If you look through, say, old correspondence, or even records that you all have here in the county, probate records or things
Right.
like that, there are voices. Those were created by people just like us. And those voices can speak to us very directly when you read these original documents. And anyone who's had access to original documents like this knows what that feels like. Bern,
Yeah, it
can you
kinda-
confirm that?
She's familiar.
It kind of sends a shiver down your spine when you realize you're reading that original document that is trapped in time.
Yeah, I like, we're looking through the materials and like getting a sense like why this was written, why would this record was created. So it shares the person, their narrative. And so, I mean, that speaks a lot on its own. It could be, like Dennis mentioned, a letter. It can be just like a quick note that they wrote to themselves, or maybe like a grocery list or something like that saying, such and such cost, 10 cents at the time,
Right.
Or they wrote a letter or a diary. Diaries are wonderful. They share what was happening at that current time, who they networked with, and things of that nature. So, yeah, I think diaries hold a special place in my opinion, just because they share a wealth of information.
And they're so personal.
Yes.
Yes.
And
They
the thing
really
is,
are.
they probably weren't intended for us to view them maybe at the time, that they were created, but it's a primary resource, and they offer a lot of great information.
Now, I'm going to ask a question for you all who work with archival records like these. Have you ever had the experience where you sort of feel like someone is actually talking to you through
Well,
these
our
records?
vault is
or-
haunted, so
Oh, your
that
vault is
happens
haunted.
all
So
the
someone
time.
might be talking
Yeah.
to us in there.
Yeah.
So
Or you sort of hear the voices, or
Yeah.
you imagine the voices of these people, or you feel like you kind of start to know these people who, most of them are long since passed.
yeah.
Right, right. It's amazing because as we go on doing the podcast, there's been such great topics here and great documents brought in, and we find documents in our vault, and it does feel like these people have a voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know about the chronovisor? Have you ever heard of the
No.
chronovisor? Well, I know Troy Ainsworth has been on your program, and
He has,
Troy is
yeah.
quite a storyteller. So I'm going to go down a little bit of a rabbit hole and tell you about this thing called the chronovisor. So the chronovisor is this device that was created by a Benedictine monk in the 1950s in Italy. He was a monk, but he was also a scientist. He had studied physics, and he was an expert on archaic music and archaic languages, Greek and Latin. He claims that he invented a machine that could record sounds and record images from past events.
Oh,
There's a
cool.
little bit of the sort of the
Yeah.
spiritualism
Yes.
movement here, which I think you're going to be talking about with Shalem Colony.
Yes.
So it kind of ties in. And he claims that he recorded sounds of things like the crucifixion of Christ, and,
Oh, wow.
and had images from that, the Last Supper, these Greek plays that were no longer in existence, but he was able to travel there and record these things.
Wow.
And now they say that perhaps that machine, nobody really knows where it is perhaps hidden away in the Vatican archive. Anyway, be that as it may, I think what it tells us is that wouldn't you love to be able to travel back into time
Yes.
and to be at Shalem Colony, or to be in downtown Las Cruces at the turn of the century, or
Yes.
something like that, to hear what it sounded like and to see what it looked like? We can see it in pictures, but it's different to experience it. So I think it's that sort of desire to really want to be able to connect with history and historical events. And I was thinking about it, and really, you can do this, right?
Right.
And you do it through archives.
Right.
That's what archives are there for.
Right.
It's not as easy as turning on your chronovision machine or whatever it is and sitting on your couch and eating popcorn. But if you put the work into it and you go, and these records are largely available, freely available to the public. And so if you put a little effort into it and go visit these archives, you can actually, in a sense, go back in time and read this letter that was written in the 1880s, and you're there. It can transport you back in time. So anyway, I wanted to go down the chronovisor tunnel.
That's
there.
a wonderful analogy. It really is. Yeah. So what can we expect to see at the archives?
So that's going to be a mixture of documents. So going to be maps, maybe perhaps some oral history transcripts, and some photographs, correspondence, a little bit of everything that captures our theme. So yeah, we're still selecting. That's always hard to select material to take to document, because you want to showcase everything, but because of space, and we don't have the whole room to ourselves. We have to think, okay, what would the audience want to see? What would capture their attention? So we're going to try to take a variety of archival material to share with the public. So.
And the cool thing about the event is we have so many diverse archives who are a part of the Border Regional Archives Group, or I'm going to give you we call it brag.
Brag.
Not to brag, but
That's
we call
appropriate.
it brag. Yeah.
There's a lot to brag about.
There are so many diverse archives, and everybody brings something different. So what are you all bringing? Do you know yet?
I can't
Angelica's
tell.
back there, so we're like,
Yeah, Angelica, we're looking for you. Do you want to come up and
We're
have
gonna
a seat
bring
with
you.
us for a minute?
Yeah. So we have Angelica here, which is our recording and filing supervisor here at the clerk's office, and we were talking about what we're gonna bring. So what are we gonna bring?
And Angelica's been involved in brag since I think the beginning.
Oh, wow.
Since-
Yes,
yeah,
the very
since
first.
2017. Yeah.
Yes, that was great.
Yeah.
It was an excellent experience. That's why we come back every
It's
year.
been a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yes.
And it's grown over the years, and it's changed.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's what's good about it.
Mm-hmm. So I was asking you all what you intend to bring. What does
Okay.
the county intend to bring?
We're still looking, but for sure we've been going through our oldest documents lately.
Yeah.
And so we had Julie on a previous episode. She's actually an employee with the elections division, but there were 3 staff members from elections that were helping us with some archive projects. And she really took a very good interest in what she was finding, and she would research a little bit to kind of get the full story. And so I asked her, choose what you think is going to be really, really interesting. And so what we're trying to do is get documents from every, we're starting with decade, and then we'll probably pan it down to like the 1800s, 1900s, 2000s, and get a few things from each. Trying to show the voices of the county throughout the years. So what did people want? What were they talking about? What happened? So we're looking through newspapers. We're looking through our commission minutes. We're looking through, of course, all of our real estate documents, coroner's reports, petitions. We have a bunch of statements. They're basically bills for malaria eradication. And so for a certain time period, so we know that was an issue. Just letting our
mosquitoes.
archives. I know.
They still haven't gone away.
No.
Right? Cool.
The river keeps them alive, and then we're getting a lot of rain, which is crazy. But just letting the documents tell the story over the years. So that's our plan.
Yeah.
We'll see how we do with that.
Nice.
What do you
That'll
think
be
about
great.
that?
I think that sounds great.
plan?
I think
Okay.
that sounds great. It sounds great. And I know in the past you all have brought historic newspapers as well, which people are always interested in,
Yes.
in looking at those old historic newspapers.
Yeah. What we need to remember, Bern, if I could borrow your magnifying glass, so when people are looking through those newspapers, yeah, because a lot of times they're like, oh, I can't see. I don't know.
Yeah,
You bring me a great idea. We have a lot of bilingual newspapers that were produced here in the Mesilla Valley. So those are great. They're great. Just looking at a couple, here and there. And yeah, I think that'd be a nice addition to take to our table there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Newspapers are amazing because, of course, they have the headlines, right? So what's happening locally, what's happening around the world, what's happening. There's like a lot of irrigation story, things like that, right? But then those little things on the sides, the little articles, and those are voices of just individual people.
Yes.
And they're so fun to read.
Entertaining sometimes, right?
So entertaining.
That gets back to our theme, voices through time.
That's right.
Yeah. Again, I mentioned the diversity of organizations that participate. So this year, in addition to the Doña Ana County Clerk and Recorder's Office and the New Mexico State University Library Archives, we have the University of Texas El Paso Special Collections, and they've been on board with this since the beginning. The Sul Ross State University Archives of the Big Bend down in Alpine, Texas. I mentioned Texas Tech University Southwest Collections will be there this year. One of the really popular exhibitors is always and I'm sorry, I'm probably get the exact name wrong, but it's basically the Railroad and Transportation Museum in El Paso. They always bring amazing stuff in.
Yes, their photos.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah. Let's
So
see.
if you're into trains, which a lot of people are.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
The El Paso Public Library Border Heritage Center is always there. They always bring amazing stuff. So many interesting archives, and again, the kinds of materials that people bring is really varied. So
Cool.
there'll be
Yeah.
something for everyone.
Yes.
That's awesome.
And you get a chance to look at everything.
Yeah.
And the people who are there representing their archives, they're a wealth of knowledge.
Oh,
too,
yeah.
So
Yes.
You go to the table and you ask them, well, what is this document? And they'll start, telling you all about it, which is, I've learned so much from going to these for these past few years. So I'm really excited for this year's.
A lot of knowledge can be shared about the region, by attending these the Borderland Regional Archives Group Bazaar. I think it's a great place to, even if you're new to the area, you can get a glimpse of the historical nature of the area. So yeah.
Especially if you're new to
Yes.
the area.
yeah,
Especially if
that's
you're new
such a
to-
good point.
Yeah. Because you'll learn so much about the history of the area at the event. And anyone who has any interest in history or cultural heritage will just really enjoy the event.
So this is the 9th year that you guys have been doing this. Do you have any favorite moments from the past few years that you've been doing this?
Wow. Boy, it's hard thinking back.
I really enjoyed the first year because we didn't know what to expect,
Yeah.
and we've grown since then. So it's nice seeing, how, little changes have been made, but still we're still a core group, and we all, contribute to the same cause. It's nice expanding, and I think the first bazaar will always be special just because it was our first ever, and again, we didn't know how many people were going to attend, what to take, and but yeah, it's always nice to look back and see how it's transformed.
I agree. Even our first was a success. But I remember because we didn't know what to expect, we had so many people there. We were in the same room. We were doing presentations in the same room.
Yes.
It was loud, but it was lively.
It was.
good.
And so the presentations are always an enjoyable part of it as well. So in the past,
They're amazing.
we started doing it in the same room, but we realized quickly that didn't work because no one could hear because it was a little too noisy. So the Farm and Ranch has a wonderful theater, which they also loaned to us on that day. So
Awesome.
we've often had historical presentations, professors, people who use archives as they're creating history, writing history,
Right.
talk about their research and how they use archives. That's always been great. This year, we've decided to do something a little bit different, and we're going to use the theater because again, our theme is voices through time. Some people are focused sort of on oral histories and the recording of oral histories, and so we're going to be showing basically films and videos of oral histories, for one, people talking about their experience of living in, say, the Mesilla Valley or the Rio Grande Valley down in South El Paso. What that experience was like for them growing up in the 40s and 50s and things like that. And also we will be showing some old historic film footage in there. So instead of having speakers, it's going to be kind of just running film footage, historic film footage, and these oral history videos, which should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I kind of just wanted to touch on the film screenings. I think that's, a great new, I guess, evolution of this event, because a lot of people don't think, maybe because it's on a old format that we can't play this. I'm sure we're going to get a lot of questions from maybe the participants. I have this type of format, who can digitize this for me, or is it even possible?
Yeah.
So, I have to brush up on that and see, what, different formats there have been throughout the years. So.
Yeah, and that's been an important part of the bazaar through the years as well, is helping people preserve their own historical documents that they may have in their homes, because most people have, old records, maybe their grandparents' marriage papers, old photographs. Most people have, old photographs, film, video, all those kinds of things. And so there's a room full of experts there that can talk about how best to handle those materials and make sure they're preserved into the future.
That's awesome.
Did we already say the date and time?
Yeah, we kind of gone with details and everything.
Good. October 18th, 10 to 4.
Yes.
Yes.
Farm and Ranch Heritage Museum.
Yes.
Cool. Is there an age limit or?
I think we say 2 to 92. So if you're over 90, well, actually, I take that back, because we were so fortunate that maybe 3 or 4 years ago now, the venerable J. Paul Taylor came to the Archives Bazaar, and I think he was 99 or 100. Maybe I think he was 100 or 101.
I think so. I think 100.
That's incredible.
So we extended the date for the age range for him. But,
That makes
so we'll
sense.
say from 2 months to 102.
Okay, that makes sense.
There you go.
Yeah. Mr. Taylor was a star of the show.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, everyone would, want to
cool.
go talk to him. So, I remember that.
He's like the celebrity there.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
And he had some good info, too.
He
Even
was
for
like
us.
a living archive, wasn't he?
Yes.
That's
I think he said his wife worked for the clerk's office.
Oh, really?
So he had some inside information for
Well,
me
I
as
know
well.
she worked in the clerk's office a lot, doing historical research. She spent a lot of time here in this office doing historical research about the history of Mesilla mostly, but also other communities in the Mesilla Valley. She was a meticulous researcher. So Saturday, October 18th, at the New Mexico Farm and Ranch Heritage Museum, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. 2 months to 102 is the age range we're looking for. Actually, it's adults that come.
Yeah.
But we would really love to have younger people come. We'd love to see middle school and high school.
Yeah.
I guess elementary school too, but particularly middle school and high school students there. And college students, so that they can start to have an appreciation of our region's incredible history and understand how people learn about that history through these historical documents.
It's a good event to build up your pride for them, for where you live.
Well, we hope to see you there, and we hope to see you there.
Yes.
Cool. Well, that does it for this episode of Preserving History and Democracy. We want to thank our special guests once again, Mr. Dennis Daly and Jennifer Olguin, for joining us and giving us all the good information on the Border Regional Archives Bazaar. We're really excited for it.
Excellent.
Cool.
Thank you,
Glad
y'all.
to see you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Make sure to follow us on all our social media pages and listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts. We'll see you next time.